Hey, how's it going, everybody? Say hello to everybody in the chat room. Sorry for making you guys wait an extra couple minutes here. Time got away from me. So we're gonna be doing some coloring today. But when I got home, oh man, this isn't even it. Where is it? The sheet here. If you guys remember, I did this old video where I was talking about. You guys know how I do the Pomodoro stuff for time management and all that, which is funny because I'm late. But I wrote down this thing and I was trying to hammer through it before the stream today. And because this is the last thing I get to work on, or last thing I have to work on, work-wise. I like to call it like administration and stuff where like looking over other projects or to-do lists or people that I got to get back to and stuff like that. Um, but we're in a couple minutes into right now, so sorry about that. And hello to all the new people. Hello, I'm just seeing who I can see here: Monochrome, Fusatron, Hugh, Undead, Ben, Taunting, Pillowhead. How's it going, my man? And I'll say hi to Ben again because he posted a little. Posted again when I said it. So anyway, how y'all doing? You guys having a good day? I hope so. It's Monday. Get a whole fresh new week to do stuff. So we finish all the inking for these next 4 pages. Saturday, I think it was, and then Sunday's stream we started coloring. And as you guys know, I work in batches of 4 pages, and this is page 11. It's probably the biggest page that I've done so far. It's still got some organic backgrounds like rocks and stuff, but like there's little details in there. We also paused coloring yesterday as well to figure out how to color these characters we haven't seen before, which are the tupos, which are these little characters here that are currently being slaves. We also had to color the main bad guys that you guys will see coming up. Maybe actually later this week. Those are called the Doblins, and I'll show you guys. I'll show them to you guys again here, just so you can see. Because some people were actually asking about them, which is cool. Is that the wrong? All right, there you go. Let's go in here. Reference. They look like this, and this is just like a headshot with the colors, if you guys remember. And we ended up deciding to go around this kind of area. So they're like a play on goblins for sure. That's like the name is nothing unique. Doblin doesn't make it sound, you know. Hey, how's it going? Say, I haven't seen you in a long time. But yeah, so these are the color palettes that we're gonna go here. You can also see with the Tupos, what I did with them is similar, and I wanted to just say it one more time for you guys. There's nothing wrong with, let's say, this character here, this color, right? Of just coloring the characters all that color. Something that I like to do, if you've got the time, adds a little bit extra because if you've got like a whole bunch of these guys, you're gonna have to change the color of them, right? But I wanted to at least get a little bit of range, so I've got like 3 here because I like to think of this stuff. It's weird because let's say like a lion or a zebra, right? Like their color pattern is the same. There's little design elements that are different, right? Like their hair or the stripes on their body are different to separate each other, right? Because nothing can be like a carbon copy of something. But sometimes if I can, and I took the time with you guys to do it as well, where you think of it sort of like humans, right? Where you got white, black, brown, I'll say yellow, and it's not even really yellow, but like an Indian, all kinds of races, right? Which is great. It's diversity, and I like to, if I can anyway, have that in there. So I showed how I sort of do that within the same color palette. So they still sort of feel like they blend in a little bit, whereas it's not like totally radical where it's like just different colors from everywhere. So that's what we're gonna be coloring today. Like I said, we got this page. The next page is actually super simple. And then we're just doing the flats right now. We're going to also go in and then do the shadows and all that good stuff. So let me just catch up with you guys. Oh, and you know, because this lovely figure takes work, we're going to enjoy a couple Oreos here at the stream. Oh, yep. That tastes like cheap processed factory cookies. Only the best. And of course, a little. I won't do that ever again. I'm sorry. I hate hearing slurps and the gulps. It's so stupid. All right, so let's get the color in here. Let me just open up our little spreadsheet here so I can keep track of our time. Pillowhead, I'm good. I'm just you got your tax return, and you're about to get one of these guys. Sweet. Wish you all the best, my man, for your new toy that you might get coming up. Ben's got some pages to share. They're on Imager. Let me know when. Okay, Ben. I just want to get a solid dent in this. So I don't want to say an hour, but if you can't stick around, that's cool. Just let me know. We'll try to figure it out. If not, just poke at me again in about like a half hour to an hour, and then I'll totally do it up for you. Hey John, important out of the blue question. Not your Wacom monitor, but your other monitor. What kind is it, man? Is it good? Okay, that's an excellent question. Kevin Phillips, who pops in every now and then, he's a cool guy. He's sending me emails. We're talking all the time. He actually asked the same thing because we were actually just talking about this, and I believe he said this Wacom, the 21UX, is either let's see if I remember, 68. It's between 67 and 69% correct, color corrected. Meaning that it's not like 100% would be what you see is what you get theoretically. I know print's a little different, but on what you would see on a calibrated monitor is what you'll see everywhere. So the higher, if you could get 100%, I don't even think it exists, but if you could, you want to be in that spectrum. Okay, so these Wacoms, these old ones, they're about 60, like I said, 67 to 69%, and it's true. I can tell the difference. Looking at this looks a lot more saturated. I look over this monitor and it's gray. You guys are probably seeing it more grayish, which is where I want it. Okay, it's something you'll disconnect yourself from, and you almost always, or for me anyway, I'll design with color and stuff still here, but I'll always check on the second monitor. Now the second monitor, I'll give you the brand in a second. I just want you guys to know, and I actually just told him this too, that this monitor I bought because it was the only computer store around the area when I lived outside of Toronto that I could walk in. I didn't have a car, so it had to fit a couple things. I was just going to see the cheapest monitor they had, a monitor that could rotate so that it could be 11 by 17, and that was it. That was all I was going in for those two things. Okay, it's a Samsung SyncMaster BX2240. Let me know. I can punch it in the chat if you need me to say it again or whatever. SyncMaster BX2240 Samsung, and again, it's nothing amazing. I don't even know what its color correctedness is, but it does what I need it to do. And lastly, I did buy this because remember, this is really the main project and a few covers that I've done where everything I had to do was just ink, black and white. So if you're just doing black and white inking work, for the most part, it doesn't even matter. You can use one of these and you're fine. But the color, you sort of gauge it. You know, like on your second monitor, no matter what you get, it'll be better than your Wacom. I probably guarantee it. And I think this one was probably like maybe between $100 to $200. I didn't want to break the bank. I've seen some sick monitors nowadays, guys, where it's like those big HDs, and you're kind of like, you know, like it's nice stuff, man. Anyway, so you can look into that. Okay, so actually, let me just punch it in the chat here. So wait for you to ask in case you want, if anybody, maybe you guys aren't looking for a monitor here like I have for color, but you just want to have one of these monitors that rotates. I think a lot of people that do coding also, not everybody. I know 3 developers that work like that. But I've seen some developers, they rotate it this way when you're just doing walls of code. Okay, so let me open up these 2 here so we can start our timer. Oops, not that, and start our stopwatch. Cool. All right. So where did we end off? What layer are we in here? So a lot of these colors are not final. Wait, what do we got? We got gray here. Is it just the backgrounds we were doing? Yeah, looks like it. All right. So we're gonna pick this, but how dark does this one go? We'll see. I just like adding a little bit of color to the background, so it's not all like this total flat background here. It's fine, but sometimes it looks really cool when you just kind of break it up a little bit. And I would just like to, I'll continually say this stuff, but I just want to keep reiterating that this stuff, I'm intending for it to go quick. So this step right here, it's nice, but it's always a battle trying to figure out like, okay, what's nice, what's good, what can I just not have to do? Like, what do I need to do what I'm doing right now? Probably not. And if speed's the name of the game, you know, and you want to hit like a certain, like a page count released and stuff like that, you gotta play this stuff safe. And it's always a juggle. Like I'm always debating in my head, like, should I add like some clouds to the background? Does it help? You know, I think it would. I don't know, but I know that there's gonna be text in a lot of these places. And at the same time, you know, if I find myself thinking about that stuff, like, if I find myself thinking, you know what, it'd be cool if I did this or that. That's when I kind of have to go, okay, stop. Don't do it. Sort of like my little quick fail safe. Color all under here too. Are Momo's tentacles, Inkbot's asking, are Momo's tentacles instrumental in her ability to fly? No. Okay, if you're asking about this, she left Jesop so far, and she's upset. She's going on her own, and she sees all of a sudden for the first time, like, creatures that are walking around. So for whatever reason, she associates them with intelligence. Maybe they can help her out. There's buildings and stuff. She's not an idiot. So she's waving at them, trying to get their attention, and she'll keep waving as she gets close to them. But no, they don't. She doesn't use a flap to fly or anything like that. I don't even really know how she works, to be honest. What did we end up calling her? I know there was two other names. My lame one was a jelly squid, and I think you guys, what was it? Jelly squid, squidian, jelly squidian. I think that might have been what it was. I might just swipe that because that's actually pretty cool. It's got some pop to it. But no, she just casts magic. Doesn't need oxygen to breathe. I don't know. I don't know what else she can do. We'll figure it out as we do this. Oops. Jelly Squidian, yeah, it was okay, cool. John, is there a way to back up your auto actions or export them to put them on another PC? Good question. I think you. Let me check. Auto actions. Actually, you know where it might be? Let me just check. You might have to open up your. It's like it might be like Photoshop, or you have to go on to like your PC folder and stuff. Let me just see here. See program fires. Program fires. Clip Studio settings. Clip Studio Paint. I don't got the time to check, but check something like this out. If you're on a Mac, I have no idea, but like for me, it's Windows. It's on my C drive, program files, Celsius, whatever it is. I think that's your company. Go in here, and there's like a whole bunch of different like like folders and stuff you can check out. One of these might say something on them, like auto actions or something, or in one of these. I would bet it's in there, and all you would do is you'd copy that, save it somewhere else, so that if you had to, if they magically disappear on you or something, you can always pull them back. No, it's all good. Um, okay, cool. Yeah, man. Whatever's gonna make you happy, right? I'm glad you thought. You know what? I'm just happy that you took my advice, because most people don't, which makes sense. People, whatever, for whatever reason, like to do their own thing, and that's cool. But yeah, I'm glad you took my advice there, and you just spent a little bit of time trying to figure out what's gonna make you happy with art, man. And the reason why it makes me happy is because a lot of people they don't do that at all, and it's actually pretty important, in my opinion, anyway. Like you don't want to get stuck like I was, that I claim to be anyway, of the big publishers being like the only thing for me to do, and I would go as far as saying lie to myself that that's the way to go. You guys heard me talk about it. You want to hear me ramble about it again? I will. But yeah, no, I'm glad you spent that time, man, and you figured out that. Anyway, currently, what's gonna make you happy is doing animation and comics, but leaning on animation is like the primary kind of. If one of them had to get picked, you're leaning towards animation. That's great, man. I'm happy for you. Because there's the dark side of it, like my side, where you could spend many more years than you really need to, not being who, or not really following what it is that all the signs are that you're actually, doing. Or you just might notice that you want to be this or that. You might call yourself a comic book artist, but you're not making comic books. And it's a real thing. Just because you've been doing it for so long, it's like, oh, well, I guess that's what I want to do. That's what I guess I have to be. Which is silly. Last thing you guys want to do, myself included, is when you're on your deathbed. I always love that. I love this saying. When you're on your deathbed, and they always ask you like, "Oh, do you have any regrets?" And then people do, and it's like, "So don't live with regrets, right?" But I love the little saying like, "When you're on your deathbed." How many people get to die on their deathbed? Does anybody know? Like, is there a statistic you can Google that? How many people just die like heart attack? You're out. Compared to like how many people get that choice to have something, like their last moments, or the last thing they said was, "Oh, this or that." I wish I was a comic book artist. Or I wish I would have stopped making comics and pretended to be one, and just stuck with my true passion, ukulele. You know? So stupid. Alright, you got these guys who are digging away. Hey John, you gonna be on for a while? I gotta run to the store. Hey, no problem, man. Yeah, I'm probably going to. What did I? 9, I think I am. 8. Is that right? 9, 9:30. I'll be on for a bit. Magic and superpowers is an acceptable. Also, if you use Dropbox, you can. Hey Van, how's it going, man? Hey, sorry about like your question that you asked earlier. I was definitely firing back some stuff. I was trying to just hear what people were saying, so I apologize if you felt like you were getting under attack, or if it was. I'm assuming too that I probably came across as attacking other people too. So I apologize if that's how it came across. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Anyway, Van's got a good point there. Um, for anybody too that uses anything that might need updating, a good example actually would be if you guys use like I actually realized, and I didn't even know, I forgot anyway, that I bought Scrivener, and I think some of you guys have talked about it. And I don't know if anybody else here uses it, but the reason why I'm actually going to fire it up, not today, but at some point, and I'm just going to go through it again because you can use like note cards and stuff, and I want to see if there's a way I can just organically use like the writing software. I just want to check it out, right? Just check it out. But you can do stuff like save a file from Scrivener onto like Google Drive or Dropbox, right? And the thing is, like, no matter what computer you're on or anything you're on, if you can download that file, you can just work on it there. I know that's nothing new to a lot of you guys, but what he's saying is great because like if you have, let's say, your auto actions and maybe your brushes and stuff. I do this with all of my Jesop King, the raw files. I have a Google Drive where it's all uploaded there. So if the worst were to happen, if my computer were to crash, I have a secondary hard drive. If that happened to crash, I upload all my stuff regular on Drive as well, so that I have like an off-site sort of thing. In Dropbox, excuse me, and Drive are both free to a point. Should be enough for most of us. So check that stuff out. Could help you out. Okay, cool, Van. Good. Okay. I didn't want to, make it weird. Nice program, sweet. I do have that, Jonathan. You're right. That's one of the ones I saw. I forget. It was a comic book writer that did it, right? And I was writing, I think, one of the versions of Jesop King in that when I was trying to do like a graphic novel version. But I'm actually more interested in. I don't write scripts currently. You guys know that. And what I'm excited to try is you can basically just make little note cards on a cork board, and I want to see if I can adjust it. I think the one main reason why I stopped using it was because, like, if you guys know, I do the beginning, middle, and end, right? And then the beginning, middle from those. But when you're doing the corkboard thing in Scrivener, it's just like one after the other. I can't have one here and one here. It's not organic, right? It's a program. So bang, bang, like that. So I was watching a video where somebody had like it's in a notebook or something. It's basically like your file folder, and I could just reword them to like beginning, middle, and end on that side, and it'll make note cards on its own. So what's cool about it is you can still drag them around, but like you can double click inside each one. Sorry. So if I wanted to just add maybe a little bit of extra something in there, or like dialogue or something, just right in there without writing a full script, it still sort of feels like it'll work. That's why I'm gonna check it out again. Honestly, like just like these kinds of papers or note cards for me work the best, but I like to have something digital so that I can have access to it. And the one problem with Scrivener, now that I'm saying that, is that it is software, right? It's not like on Google Drive where it's just like a Google Doc or something like that I can use it for my phone, which is actually pretty powerful stuff. Anthony Johnson. Was his name? Was that his name? I love seeing how easy it makes process to write a script. You're right. Yep. Yeah. No, you're right. All that. Yeah. You're absolutely right. For script writing, for sure. I think it's great. For sure. So yeah, great. I'm glad to hear there's a whole bunch of people in here that know more about Scrivener. So if we end up using it a little bit more, you guys can maybe help me out. Okay. So these are like wicker baskets, I think. Um, let's make a new layer for these guys. I don't. We're gonna go gray with them, like a gray wicker. How does that look over there? Yeah, that'll work. Let me turn all this off. It's hard to see. I think I put one. Yeah, I did right here. I don't know if we put any more. No. Okay. Let me just check what you're saying there. Sorry. Hey Troy, how's it going, man? I am doing great. Yeah, it is friggin' frosty out today, isn't it? You guys are all talking about really cool stuff here. I just want to hear you guys talk. Uh, If you guys want, you let me know. I can pause working on this for like I don't know, a couple minute or two. For those of you that haven't used Scrivener, and we can just kind of look at it if you want. Just let me know. What Jonathan's talking about though, it's right. Or it's right. He's right. You can get like a formatting done. I forget where. You can just search for comic book Scrivener template or something like that, and the guy that had it, it's what's really cool is if you're into writing. I think especially if you're writing, because it's just a lot of it's intuitive, right? Like you might like let's say open up Google Docs or something like that, and when you're writing, it's like okay, tab, character, or like their name, enter, and then you're tabbing to go over. Like there's a lot of formatting. Whereas this one, it's like you can. I think it's tab. You can press tab, and you keep pressing tab, and it'll go through like character, scene, action, sound effect, dialogue, things like that, and you just start. It's a lot more intuitive, and it definitely saves time. I would 100% agree with that. Again, I'm not saying that it's bad. I think it's great, especially if you like working on scripts or writing scripts, and it's something to check out. I definitely think it's something to look into. I don't think I'll anytime soon use that stuff, just the nature of what I'm doing with this. But I want to check it out. Taking a little look see. It's going great, Seda. How's it going with you? And thank you, by the way, for sending me stuff on Instagram. It's good to see what other people are up to. Sometimes it's quiet on there, you know. Thank you, Ben. So these are just like typical kind of markings on here that you get on like these mystical rock kind of things. Yeah, Jonathan, you're right. It's very close to what I'm doing. Is like the Marvel method for sure. Where I get the loose plot and then each break down the plot into pages. So one plot point would be a page, and then what I'll do is I usually add like a few pages before or after that plot, just depending on like if I want to slow the story down or if I want to speed it up. You know, like a fight scene, I could say like Jesop fights monster, and I might go, you know, I want to really draw some cool stuff in this story. So I might just go, okay, it's 5 pages, and on each one of those pages, Jessup fights monsters. So once I get done to thumbnailing that, I know, okay, what are these pages? Oh, 5 page fight scene, cool. And then just sort of get in there. And I'll put those little speech bubbles in my thumbnails too, if I ever have like an idea of something like a word that somebody might say, or a piece of dialogue that I think would be kind of cool, so I don't forget it once I get back to it. And sometimes, you know, I scrap it still, even if I write that little note down. And sometimes I just expand on it. It's a fun way to work for sure. Hey, Keeman, welcome, man. That's no good. When your internet starts getting poopy. Alright, let's take a look at these. Okay. So they're just blue rocks. I don't know if they look magical enough. They don't really look. They just look kind of boring. You know what? That's fine because I think once we go to their village, That's what I'm gonna. I've been thinking of like, what's it gonna look like? It's probably gonna look a lot like these sort of structures, but incorporate more of this sort of jewel. So that's when we can really shine them up. I think that's it for colors for this page, actually. Flats, right? Yeah, because we're still gonna adjust some of the stuff once we get into the shading. So let me just save that. Turn my timer off. What page is that? Yeah, so it's about 1.25. And this last page is gonna go super quick. Okay, chapters. I don't know if we have a color one yet. No. So inks. Page 12. Everybody's sad. Okay, window. New window. Drag it over. Let me open up page 9 as well. Because we're going to have to color this stuff. Might as well have it open. Okay, cool. Let's put that over here. Oops. Okay. So what are we doing here? Alright, so we got all our ink layers and all that stuff. So I just combine everything. Layer combine selected. Let's give it a second to have a heart attack. Like it. Then we're going to go to edit, convert brightness to opacity so it's transparent. We can also turn off this blue gutter line. We're not going to need you. And finally edit. We're going to 300 dpi. Oops. And save it in our color folder. And we can start our timer. You work in a similar way, John, but for my short stories, I let run at least 100 shots of a 5-page story. There's a comic book I have 1,000 to 2,000 shots, and that's around a 24. Okay, cool. Yeah. So are you working kind of like how you see it in your head, like it's if it was a movie, and then you change it to panels, or when you're talking about shots, you're talking about like the actual, like the panels that would be in those? Thank you, Seda. I do appreciate that. Honestly, I do. Thank you so much. You guys, no, honestly, like I know, I appreciate the flattery for sure. I know I've got like light years left to go for expression and stuff. Because of the path I went down for a long time with comic book art. The critiques I would always get is clarity, like action and stuff. It's pretty simple. It's just people screaming and whatever. But like this sad kind of stuff, especially Momo, she's really tricky to do. And these guys, I mean, they don't even have expressions. But uh, since scrapping my old way of thinking about comic books in general and finally just being happy with the decision to go a certain way. Some of you guys might not even notice or be able to tell. That's fine. But the creative side, I'm making a lot of decisions where I feel like maybe I'm not putting enough in or whatever. But the expressions and stuff, especially in these couple pages, super important because it's the story, and I want to I want to be a lot more expressive as a cartoonist as opposed to necessarily like a technical draftsman. And I do think they're different, and not one's better than the other. Just where I would like to go. So thank you so much for letting me know that at least with some of you guys, it's resonating a little bit. Because you can get, or I can get stuck in a little pocket of doing your work, over and over again, and it can get a little. I'm not sure if certain things are reading and all that kind of stuff, right? So I do appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so we got our blue. We're gonna lock our line art layer. We're just gonna fill it blue. You can't really tell. It looks nice over here on the other monitor, but you can't really. So let's get 3 panels here. Panel, whoops. 1, 2, and 3. And we're just gonna pick a color here. fill it. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna answer that there. Okay. I'm still gonna draw in the background, but just so you guys know. Okay. Let me just see what you guys are saying. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Some of you anyway, digging my new stuff. Like it. LGADK. Pretty sure you're new, so welcome. Thanks for popping in. So we were drawing along. Right on, right on. Justin, I know you're on the phone, but I really like this. Thank you guys. I'm glad you guys are digging it. You know what? I do think the more cartoony stuff gets, you open up your fan base to more people, and I honestly believe that. I would lie if I said that wasn't one of the drawing forces or, that made me decide to go this way. And granted, it's not super cartoony, but I think it's more cartoony than you can go back to and anywhere you guys followed me. You guys can go back to old videos. I'd render a lot, and that art. Not that it looks intimidating, but I do believe that there's something in that style of art that can act a little bit more exclusive than inclusive. Just me thinking anyway. Basically, it's like cutting a movie together in my head as a story program. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. I find it so fascinating how people work. Like how you do what you're doing. Like I understand what you just said, but I don't understand it because I'm not doing it. You know, it's a different vibe. I like that. Okay, so here I'm just remember what I said earlier. Some of you guys may not have been here, but I was showing how we were doing like different colors for these guys. So now I've got that it's like a masked layer that I have here. So no matter what I do, I can just go like this, right? And you can see it always cuts inside. It never draws outside of them. Excuse me. So it makes it super simple to just go in here and add color to these guys. Just to get the different versions of them in there, right? So I know I want this guy talking, and I'm not sure who's speaking right now. Please help us. Please help us. The Whipmaster is sleeping. Save us. We don't have much time. Yeah, maybe we'll keep it there. It's the first one they talk to, so I like that blue version. So let's fill this guy in with some color. And we'll do these guys. Ben saying I feel the same way about cartoony styles as well. I think people on Tapastic prefer cartoony styles. Plus, yeah, no, you're right. Hey, and like we were already saying, well, one of the main features, I don't know, one of the main decisions for kind of going the route that I'm personally taking anyway, and you guys might feel the same if you guys have done are doing the same anyway, is that it's there's so much of this stuff to do. I'm not crying about it. It's just that if you go in and play it smart, as smart as you can, you can't account for everything. But if you're the person doing all the work, it's your own comic and stuff, do what you would like. If you want beautiful looking pages and stuff, you know that it'll take time, right? Like that's it's not a surprise if all of a sudden things are taking you days to do, right? So I know that, and that's probably 50 to 75% of the reason why I want to go this way, because I know I would have put a lot more detail in this 100% if I knew it was just going to be like black and white with maybe tone work. But the more I thought about it, and the more the color route was there. I know I want to improve as a colorist. I color at work, so they work both hand in hand. One will help out the other one. So I can gain experience quicker that way too. Plus the cartoony route, you'll build an audience faster and stuff, and it's simpler. And I get a kick from drawing it and stuff. So, which is weird because I never thought I would have honestly ever said that. Like like the Marvel DC kind of style. That was always what I was about. It really wasn't until I got my video game job that I'm at now, where I really started to, I don't want to say fall in love, but appreciate it more. You get excited by seeing like simpler styles. Like Derek Loffman, if you guys know who he is. If you don't, please check him out. The guy's a very good artist. I love a lot of his stuff. Uh, Things like him. Jake Parker as well. Some of Jake's stuff, I don't know. I don't like all of it, but that's how it goes with any artist you look at, right? You're not going to love. Well, you have the artists you dig. There's certain artists that I think everybody's like, that's the guy, like, or that's the lady that draws, and I just want to be them. But there's so many really good artists out there. Yeah, no, I remember you, Troy. You've been around for a very long time, man. Hey, Eduardo, how's it going? You know what? I might get lucky and be able to finish all four of these pages tonight. Ooh, that might be cool. Cause really, it's just the shading after this, and that doesn't take long at all. Let's see if we play our cards right. Okay, we got these little dudes' hair colors. Is it just their hair that's got that right? Oh, and their eyebrows. Right. All right, and lastly, their little backpacks. Backpacks. They're like slave packs. I'm making it sound like they got packed lunches in there and stuff. Yeah. Oh, jeez. See you, Justin. So for those of you that are watching right now, how's the event page working on Facebook or on YouTube for you guys? And if you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, normally when we would stream on YouTube, I would just click a button. It seems like there's two versions that you can do on YouTube, and it's probably been there for a while. Um, One is like I say, you just get this information, you click stream, and if you guys happen to be on YouTube, I believe I don't know if you get notified. You guys can let me know. But if you just happen to be on or whatever, you can jump in and you're good to go. This event stuff, I'm still treating it the same. It's not like I'm planning things a week in advance or anything. And it's not really an event. That makes it sound like it's more important than it is, I guess. But from what I hear, it just sends out like I think it guarantee sends out stuff unless you have something turned off. I'm not sure. But I've been noticing just by doing the events anyway. Normally we would get, what would you guys say, like 10 to 15 people maybe per stream. Now we're getting around 20 to 30. So I would imagine it's good. We're getting some more new faces in here and stuff, or at least what I'm wondering is if it's just actually because I'm doing events now that just more people are being notified, so you guys can decide if you want to pop in or not. What's really cool is what I would like to get is like doing one of these a week or something. Like maybe you know how I said we were gonna do the Wednesday stuff. I'm not sure just yet, but let's say on like a Thursday, I guarantee not guarantee, but like I just post a week in advance that hey, there's a stream because I think even other people. I know there's a couple podcasts I follow here on YouTube that post every week that they're going to do a show, right? And what I can do, just like you guys, is you can go add to my calendar or whatever. It's it's just a way to remind yourself so you don't forget. Um, that helps big time with retention. So I'm gonna take a look at that, but I'm interested in what you guys are saying. Like if you guys dig it or whatever. hmm I dig the event one. I was refreshing the page every so often when I didn't know. Okay, cool. I see a scheduled event in my subs feed and click on it. Okay. I came in before I started, but did get a pop up. Okay. All right. I get a YouTube notifications every time you stream, usually only a minute or two after you start. That's cool. You just discovered it. I didn't understand how it worked, and I clicked on it. Very simple, very cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. Right on. So all around, seems positive. Great. Really, all it stems from, guys, and you guys know this because we're the same. There's other. You guys are here, but I obviously follow other artists that are doing stuff too. But whatever makes it the most simplest will always be the best, right? Nobody wants to have to fight with this stuff. Okay. Got these guys, and then we'll get their little orange energy in the back. I'm assuming these things will be like. I was gonna say that it blows them up, but we haven't gotten too vulgar just yet with the comic. And I'm still not sure if we're gonna go. Like, I don't think there's gonna be blood in the comic. It just doesn't look like blood would be appropriate. But at the same time, if you have blood in a comic that doesn't look appropriate, it's a huge shock. Invincible springs to mind. I remember reading that, and if you haven't read it, there's this big event that sort of happens that you wouldn't expect to have happened. And with the blood's there, and you're just like, okay, there's some gore. Totally didn't expect that, but it stuck with me. I guess it's just really gonna get down to like, does it help tell the story? Like, is the reason there, right? So I don't think it'll blow them up. Maybe it'll just make them unconscious or something. I don't know. We'll do a Pokemon thing. They just faint. They don't just get straight murdered. Okay, so let's get this, and we'll fill that. Let's get some more rock colors. And I guess the other thing I'll just say with the blood stuff, I haven't made a decision yet or whatever, but I feel like there's a lot of comics already out there that are doing the blood and guts and all that. So I might be able to sneak in just being different, not being all guts and all that stuff. Are you talking about Doug Tenapo talking about his process and going through making? Yeah, I did. I can talk about that again if you'd like. Sweet, Kuzo. Enjoy your night off, man. I so hope I get my copy of Frame Perspective tomorrow. Okay, Inkbot, please. I don't know anybody else besides yourself that has gotten it, or that is getting it. So I'm going to put a lot of weight on your shoulders here, okay? What I would like you to do, you don't have to do it. What I'd like you to do is, once you get the book, spend however long it's going to take you. But you come back and you let us know if it's worth buying. I know that sounds like it's probably just going to be like, of course it's worth buying. But I'm interested because I haven't heard too many people talk about it. And I was very tempted. I was going to pick it up too once it was posted on Amazon. But I had hesitation. I had doubt. So fate is in your hands. Yeah. Oh, Brian, you have it. Okay, so Brian, tell us, please. What do you think of it? Do you have his other book or other books? I know he's got the one comic. I have that one, Trail in Steel, I believe it is. I thought it was an amazing comic. And obviously, Frame Perspective, I thought was great. You know what's funny about Frame Perspective? I'll just speak about it on my own here. Is that That actually, for me anyway, it took multiple readings to actually understand that book. There was the first time I read it, and I was like, yes, I get it. And then applying it was not the same thing. And it took me quite a while to sort of like, and I think what it was I had to find a way to do like an exercise without just drawing like something. So like a practical exercise. And once I started doing the silhouette method, and I don't do that with every panel, but like especially with backgrounds or something, or especially with this panel here, this one right here, um, with the shapes coming in, the danger kind of looking. It's like a cave she's floating by, but I'm trying to make it look like it's she's going further into danger and she's getting depressed or whatever, right? Um, it really wasn't until I started doing panels like that where it started to click, and I was like, I get it, I see it, It's huge compared to framed ink. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Do you have any other perspective books? If you do, how does it stack up with those? Is there any like I don't want to say new tips and tricks, but is there like something that separates it from other perspective books? Because like to me, I mean, framed ink, it's really just about composition. That book I find right, um, and there's other composition books I think, but nothing that was presented in that way. I think that's why a lot of people dig it. All right, let's color these duders up. Color. Start with this guy. Sorry, and somebody else asked this earlier, I think before the phone call, and I didn't answer it. These are the Tupos. The Doblins are the bad guys. They're not. They haven't been shown yet. I think they come up in the next batch of 4 pages. I could be wrong. Um, no, no, they definitely do. They definitely do. Yeah, because shit starts ramping up pretty quick here. So yes, we'll start getting into some action coming soon. Do I ever make moving illustrations? Not yet. I've seen things done by like Keenan Lafferty. If you guys play any, and again, this mostly comes from working at the video game company. I would never really notice this stuff before, but like Guild Wars 2 was when I first started seeing this stuff myself, and like League of Legends and stuff like that, where it's kind of like you have an illustration and it moves a bit, right? So I've been for some of our prototypes for games at work, we've dabbled with that idea of playing with software that does that. But I personally haven't, no. But I am interested in it. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I most likely will do something once we get this comic going. Like just release videos with like some background music or something, and you can just have. There's a software called like Spine, I think it's called. You can get a free version. I don't know exactly what you can't do with it, but you can just put in your character in pieces. You guys might not know what the hell I'm talking about. And you can kind of have them like move and stuff. So you have to, if you have some sort of animation skills, it'll definitely help you. But I do think that stuff's pretty cool. Oh wow, okay. So for those of you, got some cookie in my trout. So for those of you watching the recorded version, Brian is saying that the what is it? Framed perspective? What's the name of the book? Can't remember it. But the framed ink perspective books, they almost come across as like some thick reading material. And he was saying, and I actually have this book, comic book, or sorry, perspective for comic book artists. I actually don't know if I have it around. It's down there. I can see it. That book was great. I really enjoyed that book. It helped me a lot as well. Um, he was saying that he found that book to be a little bit more, maybe I would say, approachable. I don't want to speak for you, but it sounds like that's probably what you're trying to say. But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, it might be all right. Just stick with what we got, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so I just noticed these guys haven't drawn their hair at all, and like any of these. It's purple. Just skip their hair altogether. There we go. What the hell? Oh, I see. Have you heard Japan has this program that can color inked work for you? It's kind of scary. Really? I have not. Automation is a good thing. Do you happen to know the name of it? You grew up with Joe Mad, Campbell, Jim Lee Turner, Silvestri. Yep. Yeah, man. A lot of that stuff was the same for me as well. And then once I started learning, I guess, how to draw comics by our little Marvel friend, he opened my eyes to like a whole world of art that I never even pursued or looked at. Mine was mostly anime and video game style stuff. I mean, obviously, I'll never think anything's wrong with that art at all. But it was sort of like somebody that doesn't maybe know what the hell they're looking at, and you draw like, let's say, anime style and stuff like that. But somebody shows you that there's a way that you can draw like Silvestri or Jim Lee and stuff. It's like, really? You can unlock those secrets for me? And then once I started going down that road, it was like, I kind of stopped even looking at like anime and all that. It's funny because now I want to get back into it. It's funny how things go. Okay. Hey, how's it going? I can't. I don't even know what your name is. I apologize. What is that? Russian? Yeah, you guys let me know too if the stream is messing up on you guys. Because it always looks like it's fine on my end, but that doesn't really mean anything. Let's get our background in here. Okay, cool, cool. Oh, okay. Good old phone buffering, eh? That's no fun. Alright, I think we're gonna change this. Maybe get. He's gonna be blue, so maybe we're going to like the purples. Just want you to feel sad for this guy. No, there's no color in sadness. Russian. Okay, cool. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for coming in and joining the show. What is my favorite feature of Clip Studio? Hmm. What is my favorite? Hmm. Without the lame answer of everything, I would think the most practical one, because yes, there is like a lot that's right with the software, but I'm gonna go and say the perspective rulers, just because I don't really have to worry about perspective anymore. I don't use them. I use them, and most likely we'll use them more as pages come up. But for the like, I can do theoretically everything I can do in here in other software, especially like Photoshop, right? But the rulers are the one magic thing, in my opinion, that just sort of like, okay, it also I can also do that in this software, you know. So I would go with that. What about you guys? See, like even that, like the lasso and fill, like if I'm in Photoshop, I can just use a lasso tool, select, hold shift, add to selection or minus, and then just alt backspace. It's super quick. Uh, I'm not gonna deny that this is it's a cool thing, but for me anyway, I don't know if I would go as far as saying it's like the thing that makes me want to keep using the software. Okay, so guess what? It's time to do some shading and some coloring. So let's reset this and start it again. I remember I learned how to use through your Wolverine. Oh, okay, yeah. I remember that video. I remember that one. Alright, let's duplicate this and put it over here. Close that. Alright. So I'm going to need the text open so I can see what in the F. Again, I'm not sure what we're doing down here, so we'll wait and we'll see. Don't need to pressure, put any pressure on any of this stuff just yet. So turn the text off, and we're just going to start panel by panel. Let's go to Jesop King's Flats. Let's get his shadow going. Alright, so we got the shadow color, and I'm just going to open up, I guess, the last page we colored as well. Just in case, I want to put myself in the same place that we've been. Just so I can kind of understand what the hell's going on. Yeah, I guess, nothing's too crazy here. Alright, let's start with Momo. And multiply. Like I said before, but the panel cutter tool, I love it. The perspective rulers are a close second. Okay, and some clever ruler. Psi too. I've never used Psi. I've heard lots of people talk about it though. Alright. Ah, okay. I understand. Alright, let's get this going. Alright, so she's done with that. Let's get our watercolor going. Okay, yeah, thanks. Thanks for popping in, man. Okay, how is the shading going? What? Oh, I'm coloring the. What? Oh, we're doing the. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, which side of these are... let's open up. Alright, I think I'm going to put on some tunes here if you guys don't mind. I'm going to put on some of that new retro wave goodness. Actually, I don't even know if you guys will be able to hear it. Let me see. Okay, it's going to come through my mic, so I hope it's not too bad. Or maybe you guys might not be able to hear it at all. Oh, wait. What the hell is going on? John, is it an average for you to get 4 pages done per day or week? Oh, if I could get 4 pages done a day, I wish. No, so far, here I can show you guys this. I gotta pause it. This music is too sick. I'm sorry. I know some of you guys don't dig it, but anyway. So this is the thing I've been tracking so far. I just added this as well, start dates. So on average, so far it's taken me four and 3/4 of an hour. So we'll just round out to 5 hours a page. Okay. So I'm working batches of 4 pages currently. So that's about right now. Anyway, that's about 20 hours for that set. And I started this batch January 20th. And today's the 30th, so far it's 10 days to make 4 pages that you see. And my goal, anyway, right now is when I release the comic, 2 pages a week. So that means if I'm doing, I got to get the time under 20 hours in order to make that happen. So we'll see how this goes. But that's currently what's going on with that. Yeah, no problem. The next four, actually, I'm wondering. I've been debating if I just do them off stream, and I want to see compare that to how long these 4 pages took, because I do know a lot of those hours are most likely inflated because you guys started asking some awesome questions, and I want to get in on that. Or some of you guys are asking me questions, right? And I ramble way too much, so work isn't getting done. think that's good. Try to look at this page objectively here. It goes fade into black here. I might still make her white. Haven't decided. Alright, let's minimize all this stuff. Save her up. And open up one of these other pages here. Let's get our color balance layer. Ooh. Alright, so this is what I decided to do. There was like this blur I was adding on a lot of things, but I felt that if I pulled it back and decided to go with color balance layer. So here's like what the flats look like, and here's the color balance layer put on top of it. It just makes everything rich, okay? Which is great. It definitely helps bring the page together for sure, I find anyway. So some things that pop up right away is this bottom, this one right here. So I think we're just gonna go with white. Oops. Just don't know if that feels too like. Let's try something here. Hmm. What if you made a simplified background of flat colors that compare to the panels? The gradient stuff is so scary. That's why I've tried it in a few places, and it really stands out against like sometimes it looks nice with the skies and stuff I find, but sometimes it's really garish, and I haven't been able to get it to work that well. One thing Ink just said that I'm gonna try this just to see. So what if it's like all right, so we've got this color. Just gonna go a little lighter. And we just sort of like turn the backgrounds into stuff, right? So let's try this for now. Oops. Hmm. I'm gonna try one other thing here. I don't mind this so far. We'll see. Um, just wondering if we can go. Let's grab a color of Momo's here, like her flat color. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to just save this, just so we can keep moving, and I'll come back and I'll check this out. I'm not 100% on it yet. 100%. Feeling good, but I'm not 100%. Because, like, I might even the panels themselves, maybe we can go, like, I don't think it's going to look good, but we'll try white. Nah. Alright. Just so we're not noodling. Let's save it. Okay, I'm not gonna compare myself to James. That's going like next level shit. I don't know if I actually have James's comic. I don't know if I told you guys this stuff, but like back, remember you guys remember Enter Void? James was on that site. I was on that site. Obviously, he was way more active. I let so many people down on that thing, but there was a tag team match, and it was my character and his character versus two other guys, and we got to do like collaboration comic. And I think my very first fight was against him as well. That was, and I'm so like it's hilarious because how long ago that was, and then you see some of the people from Void like moving on to like some really good, some really impressive projects and stuff. Rightfully, it's really cool. It's really cool to see that stuff. Okay, so let's export this stuff. 800. Hey, little monkey, how's it going? No, I probably got about another half hour. We'll see. By the way, John, when I get a second frame perspective, I'll get the action cartooning book you talked about as well. Okay, cool, yeah. Especially if it's cheap, man. I think you'll really like it. So that was 30 minutes. Okay. What dimension? It's drawn on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. That scale. But I export two versions when I'm done everything, pretty much. One's just a raw file, so 300 DPI, or whatever 8.5 by 11 is. That way, if I ever do a collected version that's HD or something, it's there, and I don't have to go back and redo it. And the second time I save it, I just resized it to 800, and I think it was 800 by like 1,000 or something. It's 800 by 1035, and this is what it looks like. It's big enough. And I forget the reason why. I think it's either Tapastic or Webtoons that's around this side. I went for like the smallest one, whatever one's gonna fit wherever, so I don't have to hopefully make a whole bunch of different versions. But we'll see how that goes once we get there. Yeah, these pages are taking a while. Ugh. That laugh sounded like Ganon. That's funny. Wah, 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 wah. Hey, Hobby, how's it going, man? Thank you. Appreciate that. Although, is it interesting in a bad way? We'll see. A lot of the colors do get punched up once we put a color balance on there, but I also want this area to start getting, like, you can see they're getting into the purples and blues and stuff because it's on to get more sad. Ben, thank you. See, I totally forgot. Yeah, by all means, man, send it over. We'll do it now. Yeah, and the thing is too with the shadows, like I thank you for what you're saying, but this goes hand in hand with trying to decide not to do rendering as much, even though it looks like there could be rendering in there. Is that I can leave these open and let the colors really let the talking be done. Theoretically, it's quicker, and I hope it looks better. Right, like this shape looks flat, but if I just start like just pressing heavy and light on here, all of a sudden it looks like there's like a whole lot more texture going on there than there really is. Especially when it's zoomed way out. When you zoom in, you can see all the yucky. Let's just pause this here until I get to your. You're going to throw a highlight on there. I feel like it would be great with. Sorry, it will be great with my highlights. Mobile looks especially good. Um. So the short answer is no. I won't be adding highlights. And the long answer is it's an extra step that yes will always make the artwork. Maybe not always, but it will make the artwork look better. It's just that it adds a little bit of time, and I don't want to do that. Plus, the highlights that I do add, I eventually will add them to certain things. Like there's the part where she shoots the fireball. I will be doing highlights there. I will also be doing the highlights on this layer too. She's shooting a lightning bolt. I don't know about the background color just yet, but I'll be adding a highlight on there, and it hopefully because I don't use it as much, it just looks even cooler because it's different than what has been happening so far throughout the story, right? But the highlight layer that I usually that I will add, you guys will see it. It's I treat it pretty much just like how I'm doing the shadow. It's just cell shading, and then sometimes I might just blur it a little bit, but usually I won't. It's usually like just like a rim light. Little cast shadow action in there. Purple background plus yellow lighting, pink background plus lime lighting, red background plus green lighting. I know, it's pure chaos. Funny you bring that up, okay? Because we got this shadow here. This is the same shadow color we've been using throughout. It looks fine, but I also want to start playing around with some range with this stuff. So the reason I was going with like a yellow or the purple here is if we look at the color wheel, usually it's like it's kind of here, right? Like whatever is the opposite. So instead of going blue, you just kind of go over a bit. I forget what that's called, like split complementary, I believe. So an example here would be okay. So the the the, the light source is pretty much over here, right? So it's like a blue going into the green. Green's kind of like the sun or the whatever this could be, green slime somewhere in the background. It just hopefully feels like a bog, or not a bog, but like not a good place. Like usually you might see skies go like this and they're kind of going into storms, right? So kind of going around here, and then we're just going opposite, which is red. Now it's just sort of like, what do we want to do? So we're going into cool. So like a warm shadow might look all right, but a cool shadow might look all right too. So I'm just gonna go this direction for now, just to see. So we can lock it and just fill it in, just to see like see how the rocks look different now. I feel like they might be a little too much. I don't mind that purple. Let's see how it looks like on Momo. See, it's funny because even though we went down into the purple, it's a brighter purple, but it's still getting a little bit warm. Let's see if we go all the way to like make it real hot. I don't know. Let's see if we go to the green. Maybe go more into the blue. I don't mind that. Let's see what it looks like in here. Just makes it feel a little bit more, I don't know. Kind of like this purple. It's like a pinkish purple. You know, I'm gonna try it. Let's live a little. Let's try it out. Oh, my face. Sorry. I always forget there's certain dead zones here. Okay, so I'm going to grab your art there, Ben. What is it exactly you're looking at me looking for a critique? Is it just storytelling? Is it hopefully it's not just the whole thing. If there's something specific, because whatever, we'll go, let's see what this is. If there is something specific you're hoping to get critique, just let me know. Thanks, Hobby. Appreciate that. Oh my goodness. All right, Imager. The story is pretty bad. Okay, composition and flow would be nice to review. Maybe touch a bit on the anatomy as well. Okay, and I'm trying to keep it super simple, obviously, because reviews can always go like anywhere, right? They can be super long, they can be super short. Let's try to reverse this. All right, let's take a look. See. Um, okay, so right off the bat, before anything, I'm not really reading what's being said here. My one concern is, and I'm assuming it's somebody off panel that's saying all these things. And the only reason I say that is because there's nothing, no speech bubbles directed towards anybody's mouth. So I have to assume it's off panel. The other thing that's sort of breaking that flow up is I wish these bubbles weren't attached. I wish they were just individual, because even if it is still somebody, the same person talking off panel, it'll still read. It's almost like it almost feels like when people add this line here, it's because, here, let me switch this up here. When people add these lines like this, it's almost like it was an afterthought of where this was going, you know? And because of that, it actually destroys the entire page. You know, like if these were gone, it would be a lot better. It just sort of have a little bit of faith in the reader that they'll know where to go. And if they don't know where to go, then you kind of have to go back and fix the story, right? Or just change where the text is. I could see, like, you could have text. This could be moved up here. This is fine. You could even keep it up here still. That's still fine. And then down here, you know, that's kind of fine. That's good. That's it's a weird spot because you put the art in the middle of the panel. But I mean, you could move that down here, and then you can move that like a little bit over there. Um, that's just for that. So we got that. And again, I don't know if somebody is talking on here. It's not clear who the hell it is that's talking. So let's just go through. So we got a couple things here that are just standard with most people that are drawing in general, which is everything is flat, everything is straight on. Okay. Now I can tell by just by looking at the art that you're still growing as an artist, so that's fine. You're gonna get better. Just try to be aware of changing your panels. And just, I would recommend just grab comic books and flip through them and see what they're doing, and even copy a lot of them. Take bits and pieces from multiple panels to make your own. Okay. Little trick you can look at is there's a lot of the repeating head shape. So like this guy's head is the same as this guy's head. This head is the same as this head. There's a lot of sameness going on. So a nice little rule of thumb it's just a nice trick. It's not, you don't always have to do it, but it's a nice trick, is try to always have different shaped heads as you go, okay? Um, there's not too much left to critique, to be honest, because I still think you're super early in your development stage. So you're going to, no matter what, just keep doing what you're doing. You will get better with this stuff. Well, I guess one last thing I could say that might help, I guess, is try not to think of comics, and this is hard for a lot of people to understand, but try not to think of comics as individual illustrations on a page, okay? Uh, they all have to flow into each other. There has to be a rhythm. You have to be able to tell the story as best you can without dialogue. As if it's two people sitting drinking coffee and they're just talking about a divorce, it might seem like it's not impossible, but like, how do you tell that story without words? But that's the beauty of it, right? There's a trick there where it's like, how do you show body language and expression without words to convey the story, the thing, right? So far, what it looks like is there's a demon thing kind of jumping, I guess, at us, and then there's this character who I'm assuming looks like Death, who's just looking super chill, like totally relaxed with the situation. Then you've got this guy who's holding a scythe. I'm assuming it's Death's scythe, and he's holding it really weird, but he's holding it. And then down here, it looks like these demons are surrounding him now. And I mean, there's some major anatomy problems here. I know you're trying to foreshorten to make that stick look dynamic, but it's not like, this is the thing. This is why I'm saying, like, over time you'll get better at this stuff, okay? Because you're doing things like this guy in the suit doesn't look like this guy, doesn't look like this guy. The scythe actually changes 3 different times. And you will get better by doing more of this stuff. That's why I don't want to critique you too hard on that stuff. That's just going to come with time. Um, and like things like this demon. I don't know if it's the same one. It could be any of these ones, but he gets super skinny, and I find this sort of happens when people are drawing flat, like I was saying, where it's individual illustrations on a page because it's almost like it was drawn to fit in the panel, as opposed to how do I take a panel and articulate it in a way that he can kind of fit in, right? So like let's just lower the opacity here. I just want to do like a super quick draw over of some of this stuff here. Uh, like if this guy's our hero, which I'm assuming he is, I'll help you out. You can borrow my scythe. Okay, so it looks like we're kind of going along here. Wait, now don't get me wrong. I don't care about you and your problems, but I have a job to do, and letting you die here would mess up my list. I'll help you out. You can borrow my scythe. Just make sure that you give me a real good show. Okay. Just to change this, what do you kind of have going on here? So the super flat on shots, they never work. Never work. Like maybe here it's okay. Here kind of. But this kind of stuff, you could do the exact same shot, right? Just maybe go underneath of them a little bit. Don't feel afraid to like pull out. Sorry. To pull the camera back a bit, just so we can. He should look. Maybe you are trying to do that to make him look a little bit surprised, like, oh my god, I just got a like death scythe or something, right? So if the thing is, you always got to try your best to remember the why. And if this panel is him just getting, like death's like here, have my scythe, he's probably like, oh, or something. I'm assuming, right? The important part is the surprise and the scythe. That's the storytelling part of this panel, right? And you can have rocks pointing for composition or something, right? That's the whole point. And here is like just give me a good show. So now he's looking pretty stressed, but he's pretty badass here, right? So if we've got, I'm just gonna put in a quick grid. Kind of looks like we're going like a little bit of a fisheye, or something, right? So if he's here, I'm trying to just see here. And you got like this really cool pose going on. He's got this leg sticking out here. So why? Remember, what is the point here? So here he's getting ready to attack, right? So if he's getting ready to attack, he's trying to be a badass. The way you kind of have it is, it looks like this dude in the background is about to get smoked. So if you have his arms, or I don't know how the hell you hold a scythe, but let's assume it's like this. There's little tricks you got here, right? Like this scythe is like an arrow. You literally get to point it wherever you want. If you're having him look this way, that's fine. But the scythe is helping a lot. I would probably, even this big demon, you could have him like super close up with the horns, maybe bring his wings going back this way. I don't know. Because you want this guy to be pretty close if he's the one that's about to get attacked. I don't know. And then here you could, again, the why. You want to see him getting cut through. This is literally seeing him get through. But how can you be creative about that? How can you, right? Like maybe you don't have to be so close up with this stuff. Maybe he's just far back. I don't know how, anime this thing gets, but I don't. Again, this could be way out of line for the comic, but like, whoosh, you get that slash and then the blood, whoosh, or like whatever it is. And even this, I would probably, because you don't have it so much, I'd probably just really bring this in. Right? And you can still put like blood splatter on his face or whatever, and then just keep going like that. So you kind of see what I'm trying to do here. Just try and anyway, just to add something. I wouldn't do anything I just did over what you did. Just something to think about in case you aren't, or if maybe something I did say here kind of helped you out a little bit. But that's all. Anyway, so I hope that helped you anyway, man. I just want to catch up just in case. If we're showing work, check out. Hobby. No, I was just doing a critique there. I'll do them from time to time. I got to make some serious headway on that. I want to have. You know what I might just do, guys? I might start getting the Wednesday show back just to do critiques. There's a lot of people like it. I enjoy them. It's just it breaks up the rhythm, like when you're in working on your stuff, and then you want to start, handbrake, start helping some dudes out. Maybe we'll just bring like a show back once or twice a month here. If you don't mind me adding, I would either change the font completely or alter the kerning of your. Yeah, a lot of the wording is really tight. I will say that too. It wasn't meant to be like that. Text gave me a hard time. Text is super hard, man. Yo, thanks. I just appreciate it. Okay, cool. Right on. And that's the thing. If there's one takeaway from all that is there are no bad pages. You're going to have to go through difficult and questionably shitty art, whatever that means, uh, to learn. That's it. So don't take anything. Don't get too salty about nothing. Is if you can take criticism and grow off of it, then you've got a future as an artist. If it's hard for you, just know that it's going to take some time to get better to take criticism. But you have to find a way to take it. Because if you can't, you won't grow. And it's not about like growing a pair or you know being a man or being whatever. It has nothing to do with that. It's just about being an artist who wants to grow. If you shut out criticism, again, take everything I just said and throw it out the window. That's fine. But see if there's little things you can take from people to add to your work. Not everybody. Not everybody's gonna tell you stuff that's worth critiquing or adding to your stuff, right? Like there's so much information that I didn't even ask you about, like the style of the book and all that stuff, right? Like when we were doing that last panel about like how anime you want to get, I was saying, those are all real questions that I don't know of that will help you do your thing. And this goes for anybody too. If you guys are trying to show your stuff to people, be very conscious of what it is that they say, like what they like and what they don't like. Okay, because people get to see your art for a fresh time. You might spend 20 hours on a page, right? And you show it, and people are like, "No, I don't like it." And it's like, well, what the hell? Why? You know how long that took me to do, right? Like, we love them too much. We love our pages and our art too much. So, there's something worthwhile for people that look at art fresh, right? Because they see all the mistakes or possible mistakes that we weren't able to see because we were with it for too long, you know? The heat. All right, let's get the timer going and let's get those fat beats. See you, little monkey. Thanks for popping in. Well, no, you're 100% right, Troy. It's that concept of if you put, like, what is it? You said 10,000 hours into something? I think especially with comics, it's like a. I don't want to say it's the hardest road, but it's definitely super difficult. There's so many, like, aspects of different art genres that it helps you move along faster if you know them. You know, like animation. A lot of people I don't think watch animation, which is fine. But if you study animation a little bit, and even film and all that stuff, for because comics is about storytelling, not art. And I know that some people might not agree with that, and that's fine. But like, it's a storytelling medium, you know. So I've come across, and I've been that way too. That like, ego trumps, sadly, a lot of growth from people. Because the art's what gets people to buy the book and stuff, right? But like, the interiors are super important. Like the storytelling, right? And more people are interested in the sizzle, right? Hey, Justin, how's it going, man? Jeff. I'm glad you guys like the music. Thanks, PJ. Welcome to the stream, man. Yeah, the colors were like pulling a gun, like a trigger, man. It was like I didn't know where to go. Alright, so what I think we're gonna do, since it's a lightning bolt, we're gonna need some darkness in the background. So, what did we have going here? What is it? It's like weird rattling. So let's do a new layer. We're going to the green a little bit. This might have to take a little bit of playing around with because I'm not quite sure. Let's turn off the speed lines for now. Make it pure white. Yeah, I got an idea though. I'm pretty sure the lightning I'm fine with. It's everything around it. Gotta make it. You gotta sell it, right? Jesop King. Yeah, this the first story here I believe is 40 pages. But like all said and done, I have no idea. I have no end amount of pages. Like I say, it's not. I'm not selling it as a graphic novel or a series of comic books. It's just stories that I come up with, and I have a timeline of like here's the beginning of the story, the middle, and the end, and like filler in between, which is like them fighting stuff or saving the day or just I don't know. They could be anything. It's more of just an excuse for me to make comics. So. Oh man. Hey Shane. Ugh. Okay. So, since we got lightning, makes this a little easier for the shadow. Multiply color. So I'm gonna change. See, like this is the color we've been using. I'm gonna actually change it because now we got this. It's gonna be a blue. I know that for sure. So the shadow. Maybe we can go into a warm shadow. I don't know about that. Let's try the. I might go into just straight blue. We can always adjust this stuff, so let's just stick with this. Go a little darker. We'll try it. It's funny how dark, like, when you put the background on there, it's like, okay, she kind of still fits. When you make it white, it's like she's so dark. And it's only in the middle. It's hilarious. Alright, so we got that. We got all these rocks that are all going to be different too. So we're just going to get all this stuff ready to go. So we're just going to, basically we're filling everything pretty dark, which is fine. Which is fine. Because we're going to get the lightning and then we're going to start erasing some of these shadows out here. So, and again, like I said last time, I might just bring this into Photoshop for the lightning layer. Yeah, let's do that. Let's export a single layer as... let's just do TIFF. Yeah, let's do TIFF. Let's give that a second. You got it, Hobby. I think we're on the same page, everyone. Ben, I'm looking around for some text themes videos, but I don't see them. I don't actually have one. Could we make one? You know, I've been doing them during the streams, but I haven't really had much. I'll be honest. You know, maybe I'll try to... Let me write this down. I'll try to see if I can get something for you, man. Make lettering YouTube video. Cool. Alright, let's open up Photoshops. Thank you so much. Inkbot is right. Check up either, like, you could... It's Jersey Droz. He posted it in... Inkbot posted his name. It's Jerzy, not SY. It's a normal mistake. Just search for him or Boulder and Fleet. You might have to do a little bit of digging, but he has a lot of, like, he has a passion for lettering. I'm still figuring it out. Like, there's supposed to be a sound effect here too. I don't know what the hell we're gonna do, so we're gonna have to figure. Got a lot of learning to do right now. All right, so we got Photoshop open. File open. Final. So I'm hoping it's a flattened layer, right? Where's my layers? Window layers. Okay, it is cool. I don't use Photoshop that much on this computer. It's all out of whack. Okay, so let's make a new layer. Grab our brush. And I don't know what brushes we got. No, we don't want that. What do you want? So what I'm going to be doing is, it doesn't even really matter what's going on right now. It's just this. So this is going to be tricky. We got to have like an explosion and her casting it. So let's just go simple for now. So we're going to have that can go in there. Yeah, Hobby, you got it. That's exactly where we're going to be going. It's like the outer glow stuff. That's why I wanted to do it in Photoshop, because it's so much easier. And we're going to have a whole bunch of lightning like trickling around and all that stuff. So let's use the power of Photoshop. Blending options. Outer glow. Where are you? Outer glow. Go normal. So I'm gonna make it bigger so I can see it here. So let me make a duplicate window, because I can't do color on this screen. So I'll be able to tell. What's that? Up the spread. Oh, we're just getting started, guys. We're gonna be doing this for a little bit. You guys will see. Not my first rodeo. I'm gonna botch this. I know. So I like to sort of get like the idea of it down, and then you can pull it back and then start worrying about like all the details, right? Because now that I have all those layer effects ready to go, we can just draw over top of it. Plus, we're going to be adding, there's going to be some glows still. We got lots of stuff to do, but it's fun. I don't know about that. Don't go too crazy. Alright, it's this one. Let's try. Oh, this brush here, it's the standard default brush, the round brush. All I did was go like this here, so you guys can make it yourself. Give me a second. How the hell do I see that right here? This one, yeah. See, so all I did is it's a round brush. You squeeze it and you tilt it. That's it. I tilted it left because I'm left-handed. This is actually a brush that I saw Todd McFarlane use for inking Spawn on his Facebook videos. He tilted it this way because he tilted it left because he's left-handed too, I believe. But yeah, that's all it is. It just adds a little slant to it. I'm thinking you could do the exact same thing I'm doing right now with a round brush. I'm used to the feel of this one. That's all. Excuse me. Hey, Jojo. What? Hey, Papa. Yeah, I don't like that. I think what we might do is do we just go straight with white here? Hey, Papa Popo. Hey, Papa. What's up, Jojo? Unlimited power. Might have to pull it because it's kind of looking a little janky. Let's take a look at this for a sec. What's up, bud? I'm gonna take a break in a second here, guys. Jesop wants attention. So, probably 5-10 minutes here. Just give me one sec. Yeah. Plus, it'll give me a chance to get some fresh eyes on this. I'm not quite sure on the effects that I got going on right now, if I like them or not. So, check it out in a second. Maybe we can do like a. I always like when it's like anime characters and stuff. They'll have like the cast it kind of thing, you know. I don't know how much is gonna ruin it, but let's take a look. Nah. Okay, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna come back. Let me turn this off. It's not supposed to be on there. Oops. Okay, I'll be right back, you guys. Okay. Um, so I'm only going to stream for about like 10 minutes or so, if that. Uh, the stream, I might just stop talking all of a sudden. I'll let you guys know. I'm getting another phone call. But I don't know. Just looking at this, I'm going to have to take a little bit more time just adjusting stuff. Right now, the lightning and all that, it's fine. I mean, it's going to do what I need it to do. It's more along the lines of how is it all going to come together. That's going to be the tricky part, obviously, without spending too much time. But we'll see here. Let's put like this super lame starburst here. Alright, so obviously that looks like crap. But let's just remove this. I just want to see. I want all of this intact. Whoa. See, well, we can actually play around with that later. I'm just putting these in as placeholders because we can adjust all of this stuff once we get back into Manga Studio. Might be able to get rid of some screen action. Just in case I can't, let me just. Oops. So it seems like there's too much of an outer glow on some of these. Okay, well, thank you guys for popping in tonight. Appreciate it. Most likely be streaming tomorrow. Just follow me on social, however you guys do. I'll post there. And if not, we'll be posting at some point during the week. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for your feedback and sticking around. I appreciate it. Whatever you guys are working on, I hope it's coming together as well. Might be just too much lightning going on right now. It's just fun. I'm gonna have to pull back. I can already see there's too much going on right now. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Like usual, you guys keep reading comics, keep making comics, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.